This is Paul's last race-by-race preview you'll see for 2023. We've got Lucky Star Race Day coming up to preview for 2024. On the A course, 10 races kicking off at 1 o'clock. The first is the Flame Tree Handicap. 80 Light Years has been in good form. California Icon on debut, 8 trials. Handsome Bomb on debut, 5 trials. High Rise Power has the blinkers going on. Panda's won a trial since his first start. Spicy Gold, a good debut. Gangnam Star, good at his first start, not so much at his second. Joyful Life has the cheek pieces on, and Hinakami Kugura, minus the hood and the blinkers, go on him. The speed map has 80 Light Years with the £10 claim, and barrier number 1 leading here, Paul.
I think he will. Look, he's drawn perfectly and he likes to go forward. Golden Luck from 7, I think Hugh Bowman can put a little bit of pressure on him, come across. Hinakami Kagura went forward in a recent trial. Panda, on his debut run, he wasn't too far away, and the good deal should be able to slot in just in behind, I think.
We go with race 1, number 1 from barrier number 1, and the likely leader as well, 80 Light Years. He's been good, Paul, so far in 2 starts this time in, and comes back in trip 2. Yeah, second and a third. He's run well on both. Change of jockey, they get the £10 claim here. He's carrying 135. This horse less than 10, so he gets down to a nice racing weight of 125. The horse is going well. He's one of the major chances. He's going to be in the right place. It's just how much pressure gets put on him by Golden Luck and how well he's rated in front with the apprentice. These are the questions I've got. But look, he's going nicely enough here, and he did fight back nicely on the inside with Jerry Chowboard. Not a bad form race, winning Data in good form. Yeah. Jumbo Fortune has won since, and Poan Way, who finished 5th in that race, placed at Happy Valley on Friday night. Replay number 2 is Patch of Time, running 9th in this race. Spicy Gold runs 4th. Patch of Time is just a little wider coming to the home turn, and Spicy Gold on debut. The horse that runs a placing in the blue and white checks in this race, Paul, is Storm Rider, who runs later, and Gorgeous Win narrowly beaten in a good race last week. Very strong form race, and I thought it was a really good run here from Spicy Gold. He was over 100 to 1, 2 for his debut run. He hadn't done too much in his trials. He looks like he's the sort of horse that saves it for race day, and although he was no match for the first 2, he just failed to finish 3rd here. He was in that photo and ended up 4th. So with that run under his belt and natural improvement, I think he's a chance. First start from Pandas saw him running 5th. He trialled okay leading into that. Dennis Ship has sent him back to the trials, and he ends up going on to score in this trial, and it was down the Sha Tin straight of 1,000 metres. Yeah, and he did race over the 1,200 when he was behind Kaholo Angel. Look, it was a nice enough trial. He was pushed out to win this trial. You can see him just sitting in behind, and he came through late. That's Crazy Treasure, 2 out that debuted recently. Look, you can see him really wanting to win the trial. So he was asked to do something in it. I'm just gonna watch him. I thought his debut run was okay. There was money for him. He was like 12 to 1 on debut. There was. So he doesn't go in. Who does? Going to go with the one that was over 100 to 1 on debut. I think there's a nice horse there in Spicy Gold, coming out of a strong form race. 80 Light Years, I think, is the one to beat though from his inside barrier draw. Gangnam Star, we'll give him another chance because he was very good on debut. We'll put it down to 2nd up, and then Joyful Life. He's trialled really well recently, this horse. Just drawn a little bit awkward, but should be able to get a bit of cover. So ended up with 7, 1, 9 and 10. Lyle Hewitson to ride the first winner for Mark Newnham for Paul Lally on New Year's Day at Sha Tin. And race number 2, the preview for this race right now is a Class 4 over the 1,200 metres. Happy Golf carries the top weight again, but a 2-time course and distance winner. Telecom Dragon is in good form. On debut, Kingly Demeanor 5 trials, Mr Fox 3 trials. Storm Rider ran 2nd at his first start behind Gorgeous Win. The blinkers go back on Commanding Missile. Golden Champion's won a trial since his last start. And then we go down to Chu Chow Brother, who has all of his wins so far in Class 5. Speedy Fortune, Chu Chow Brother, both with pace. Paul, Golden Champion, led in a recent trial. Kingly Demeanor trapped 3 wide. Yeah, look, he's been pushed out to lead a couple of trials, and blinkers and tongue tie go on him. So we'll see if we can get across. Chu Chow Brother would lead over longer trips, normally 1,400 plus. So I don't think he can actually get to the rail here with Speedy Fortune drawn barrier number 1. Mr Fox, the other debutant, he's actually showing a bit of pace as well. And as you said, Golden
Champion went forward in a recent trial, so I think he'll go forward this time.
He's done that much on race day, Golden Champion, but that trial was pretty good up at Chung Fa. We're going to see Speedy Fortune running 6th. He's a course and distance winner off a rating of 42. He runs off 46 here. You've had some time for Telecom Dragon in a short career. Winner 2 starts ago, followed it with a 3rd in this race. Does he make it in this week?
Actually, they both do. I think from the front, Speedy Fortune will get his chance once again. The horse that wins this is pretty smart. And Telecom Dragon, as you mentioned, I have liked this horse, so he definitely goes in. I've got one to beat him, but he goes in as a Quinella horse, and we'll see that Carrying Rising running in a very strong race later in the card.
Yeah, he's in race number 9. It's a super race, is the 9th on the program. That's replay number 1. Second one has Storm Rider running 2nd. This has ended up being a strong race too, with what Gorgeous Win has gone on to do. Happy Golf, he ends up running 8th, and Choo Chow Brother, he's just a genuine Class 5 horse, isn't he?
Yes, I've left him out. Fighting Machines come out of this race and won since as well. So I think it's a really strong form race. Gorgeous Win's gone on and raced really well and just been beaten by a good horse as well in Raging Blizzard. So a good form race. I think he's the one to beat as the 5 Storm Rider. I'm going to include Happy Golf on a minor line because he is a 2-time winner in the grade.
He is indeed, and both were over the 1200 at Sha Tin. Here's Speedy Fortune, just off the pace where he might be, chasing a couple of noted speedsters down the straight, so no chance of leading this day with Super Commander and Super Axiom in the race. He goes up to the 1200, which you've already mentioned is no concern at all, and he's going to get a perfect trip from barrier number 1. Yeah,
we saw him leading over 1200 in a previous sort of race. This is 1,000 metres, and as you say, he's not going to lead over 1,000 metres. A good run from him, and I think, yeah, he's one of the main chances, so he goes in for sure.
And as a look at some of the runners that are in race number 2, and we've seen at least your top 3 in the replays.
We have. So, yeah, on top, Storm Rider for me, I think he's one of the best bets on the card, actually. Telecom Dragon, the hardest to beat, Speedy Fortune and Happy Golf, so we've seen all 4, 5, 2, 9 and 1.
We have indeed, but it's the combination of Zach Purton and David Hayes and Storm Rider at start number 2 to make it win number 1. Up in trip for race number 3, the start at the end of the long back straight at the 1800 metre shoot. For this, it's a Class 3 event. We've got CP Brave carrying an extra £11 for that previous win. Silver King, 3rd on debut, and then down the track at his 2nd start. All Is Good was flying, but has seemingly lost all form. Romantic Charm comes off a 2nd last time. USS Constitution makes the switch across from Happy Valley to Sha Tin. Aestheticism shooting for the hat-trick comes up in grade for the first time. And Golden Samurai goes up in trip 2. The blinkers are off him. Kimberley has the pacifiers with the cows off and the blinkers going on. Silver King leads Paul as he has done so far. Golden Samurai, All Is Good. Everyone gets their chance from the 1800 start normally, and certainly looks that case here.
It does, doesn't it? Like, All Is Good's up to 1800 for the first time, so I thought he could sort of slot in behind Silver King. Golden Samurai, he's up in trip by Pride of Dubai to Dagliadoro mare, so the distance should be okay for him. CP Brave was midfield last time when he won. Enigma, USS Constitution was midfield on his debut run as well. The only query I had really was Swan Bay, because he can go forward, but from the wide draw, he generally does go back.
We're going to start with an interview though. Nick spoke to the trainer of the Inform Aestheticism. It's Pierre Rung.
Pierre, Aestheticism is a runner for you on the first meeting of the new calendar year. He's been racing extremely well, and that was another tidy win last time.
Yes, last run he definitely improved, and it looks clean enough as well. So hopefully, the class with a lighter weight, he can do a bit more.
And I guess obviously it's justified. I mean, they put him up £7 off a mark of 64. But have you always considered him to sort of be this grade and maybe above?
Obviously, we think above. We're just doing it gradually, and by adding up more points, and he'll be a very good staying horse in future.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, because obviously he does try a new trip, 1800 metres. I mean, the manner in which he's won over the mile has suggested that an extra furlong is probably neither here nor there. Would that be fair?
Yeah, to be fair, he's sort of like 16 to 2,000 metre or plus later on. type horses, and hopefully he can do it again on the first.
Yeah, look at his pedigree. Actually, he's down one over 2,000 metres. So on pedigree, then you'd think that the extra trip won't be an inconvenience, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. It breeds to stay. So we just have to prove it step by step.
2 weeks since that win, Pierre. How has he done since? And obviously, you are a man that does like to keep your horses busy, but they're certainly giving all the right signs and producing the results for it.
Well, he pulled up well from the last race, and he works really well as well. So just looking forward.
And that is Pierre Ong talking aestheticism, and the rivals include an impressive last start winner, Paul, CP Brave. This was on International Day. There he is. In the last 2 or 3, as is Romantic Charm, who runs second. Super King fades, Enigma does too, and Swan Bay is out very wide. Dominant win this, but the handicappers have not missed him.
Yeah, look, he's still below a winning mark, though. He has one off in the 80s before this horse, CP Brave. But as you say, he was a dominant winner, and he wasn't scared to take the gaps, was he? He went through all the gaps, no problem, and then ran away and won well. So he's very hard to leave out. He's going to carry the top weight here, but at 134, drawn nicely in barrier 3 with James McDonald.
That is CP Brave, and our last replay is a trial. Golden Samurai has been becoming a little costly. Ends up running second in this trial, and Silver King was ridden off the pace in this trial, as opposed to where we've seen him during race day. Yeah,
I think he'll go back on the pace because, look, he had the first race he ran really well. Second was a little bit disappointing. Put it up to second up for that. Golden Samurai's always looked like a horse that needs further. He's now up to 1,800 metres, so I think he can improve coming into this race as well. He can get himself into a nice position.
That is a wrap-up of what they've been doing last time, or between runs in the case of those two there. Who are your top 4?
Got to go with athleticism again. He's come out of some pretty strong races, and I think he's still got rating points in hand. Golden Samurai in there for second, CP Brave and Silver King, 8, 9, 1 and 2.
Paul with aestheticism to make it 3 in a row in race number 3. The Class 5 horses are out for race number 4, and we run with a capacity field over the 1,400 metres. Nordic Combined place last time. James McDonald rides again for Chris So. Spangled Fortune is on the class drop. Perfect Peach 4th. Senior rider on this week, so slightly extra weight. Starship 80's looking for 3 in a row. Apex Top, Better Draw, 3-time course and distance winner. Casa Legend now with Michael Cheng, and the crossover noseband goes on Casa Legend. Happy Hood has the tongue tie on. Charming Steed, the hood and the pacifiers are off. Beat Hollow likes to go forward. Stablemates Fireball and Brother Pearl, and Just Great 2 has cheek pieces on for the first time. The speed here, Paul, with Beat Hollow leading, but since he won and third and the weights have just increased a little, he hasn't quite been finding it as easy.
No, he hasn't at all, but look, he should be able to get across. Fireball will try and come across from his draw. Apex Top can let the speed go and sit him behind. Charming Steed's always never too far away. Just Great 2, and the rest generally get back, so it shouldn't be an overly fastly run race.
One of those horses that gets back is Nordic Combined, and he did last time. James McDonald found inside runs everywhere, as you can see. As we start to roll the replay, Beat Hollow will fade from the lead. Apex Top consistent in this grade. Perfect Peach not too far away. He did run a well, Nordic Combined, but he saved a lot of ground with the ride.
Yeah, so he got a perfect run, didn't he? He's drawn barrier 11. He'll probably get back. Well, he should get back again, as we saw in that speed map. So, look, he's definitely a chance. I thought Apex Top will have his opportunity as well. He can sit just in the trail. And I really like the run here of Perfect Peach. He stayed on really strongly as well, and he didn't get too much favours. So I think he's a big chance.
Starship 80's been absolutely flying. Another member of the Pierre Ong stable. A win on the all-weather, then a win on the turf last time over 1,600 metres. He does come back in trip for this race and carries an extra £6 for it, and he likes to cut it pretty fine as well at the end.
He's 3-zip over the distance, which is a little bit of a concern, although he's never been in this type of form before, and he is winning the turf. It was a perfect ride. He didn't go round a horse, and finished off strongly and won nicely. So, look, I'm going to put him in just on a minor line. Over the 1,400 metres was where I had a little bit of a concern, but he did win nicely enough, and Angel's Hunt has been racing well. He's come out and run well once again.
He did cut it fine on the all-weather, not so much there. He bolted up in that race, did Starship 80. Fireball, he's well rated on face value. He runs 4th here. Just Great 2 needs to find a bit of form, but then the barrier draws came out. Poor old Fireball's lobbed 14. 14.
He has. Look, I'm going to watch him in this race. He's a bit hit and miss these days as he gets a little bit older, Fireball. He got a little bit further back than he probably would have liked here, and he did run on really strongly for fourth. So it's just how much work he has to do at the start for this horse, Fireball. But from barrier 14, I just thought I'm more than happy just to watch him.
All right, Zach Burton jumps on board Fireball. That's Zach winning that race there. On the replays, we've looked at a number of the runners in the fourth race. Was the winner amongst them?
Yeah, I think it was. Look, it's a really open race here, so it must be a leg of the Triple Trio. And it is. It's the first leg. So, look, a perfect peach. I thought he hit the line very strongly. He's caught the eye a couple of times. Apex, Top, Norder combined. So I'm using that as the main form race. They all come out of that same race. 3-5-1, and then Starship 80 on a minor line. 3-5-1 and 4.
And there you have it. As Paul said, it's the first leg of a big Triple Trio coming up on New Year's Day. The fifth on Monday afternoon at Sha Tin for the Lucky Start meeting is a Class 4 over the 1400 metres, and Fun and Glory at this stage, his best form's been 1200 metres. Up and Up is back in distance from the 1650. Lucky Gold is a two-time course and distance winner. Chili Baba is very hit and miss. When he's good, he's pretty good, but he can also go some ordinary races at times. Shine Bright's had 4 trials on debut. Where's Blinkers? Divine Era is a 3-time course and distance winner. Can't Go Wong has the blinkers on, and Island Bright is going to wear a shadow roll for the first time. The speed is from River Views. He has the £10 claim again here, Paul, from barrier number 4, and noted early speed.
Yeah, so he should be able to dictate in front here. Divine Era is probably the only one that likes to go forward and take him on. Island Bright likewise. Won't be fun. Now, Dream Pursuer has finally got a barrier draw. He's drawn 10, 14, 11 and 13 and 4 of his last 5. So I think he'll be a little bit closer. Lucky Gold and up towards the back. Shine Bright showing nothing as far as early speed's concerned.
He might have to do it tough on debut to Shine Bright. Here is Fun and Glory running fourth. We'll get a bit of a guide through this race earlier in the program, because that is 80 Light Years currently running second, 1 spot in front of him at this point.
Yeah, this is a second start back in Class 4, and the first run was good here for a fourth. So, look, he's in the right grade. He's a 2-time winner here in Hong Kong. Both of them been in this class, so he's back in the right class. And, look, I'm going to include him just on a minor line, Fun and Glory, because he does have to carry top weight of 135. But it was a nice enough run here, and he wasn't too far away. I mean, winning data, I think, is quite progressive. So he's included, and he's in, and he just failed to run third there.
He did indeed, with plenty of form already coming out of that race, apart from winning data being a dual winner. River Views runs 30, couldn't quite cross here, but Kaiying Cheer is another horse with plenty of pace. Dream Pursuer looked like he was going to get there and bring that trial form to the races 3 or 4 starts ago. Just can't quite do it. The other one in this replay is Chili Baba, who on his best form, if the right one turns up, it'd probably win, wouldn't he? But it's a matter of if he turns up.
Yeah, correct. And look, Dream Pursuer, the gap sort of half pie closed on him there. You can see him being snatched up. So he had an excuse in this race, and he's drawn better. River Views couldn't cross, but he still hit the front there with about 200 to go, and he just, or even 100 to go, and he just got swamped late. So with the apprentice claim here and no sort of noted other leader in the race, I think he'll get his opportunity.
And that is River Views' good push for him. Now, Golden Rise, very good debut at Happy Valley, so much so he went out at 2.1 at his second start and disappointed. Here he is on the outside in a recent trial, which did look good, but still hasn't delivered on race day yet.
No, he hasn't. He's been a little bit costly. Coming to Sha Tin will probably help him as well. Zach Burton jumping aboard, but he'd be unders, I think, with Zach back aboard. When Zach rode him, he was a 2.1 favourite when he was beaten. So, look, he was on the cusp for me. I didn't just quite get him in the end. I just think he's going to come up a bit short.
He came under no pressure in that trial either. He came under pressure at Happy Valley as favourite and didn't respond. So your selections for the fifth?
Yeah, going to go with River Views with the apprentice claim. He's won off a 42 rating, and with this claim, it brings him down to an equivalent of a 40 rating. So I think he's possible. He's on his best. He can win this race easy enough. River Views, and he should get an easy lead. Dream Pursuer, the better barrier draw. Lucky Planet's been racing well. I think he'll run on strongly, and Fun and Glory on a minor line. 9-5-12-1.
Get on the leader, Paul, with River Views to be first out and first home in the first leg of 6 Up. And the back half of the program begins with race number 6. It is a Class 4 over the 1400 metres. War of Courage missed the start last time. Beato's coming back from the 1650 to the 1400. Indeed, wide draw again, but he did run second from a wide draw last start. Super 10 wears blinkers again. Galvanic has the pacifiers with the cows off and goes up in trip. Kazi Farazi, 6-time course and distance winner minus the blinkers. More Rice has the blinkers going on. And Mark 10 comes off his best run with that last start third for Matthew Poon and trainer Ricky Hughes. Super 10, he lit up last time, Paul, but he faded in the straight. War of Courage, he looked to win it 2 starts ago and then completely messed up the start last start.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? And when he ran second behind Holy Lake. So I'm not sure what to expect. That's on the proviso he jumps, and he normally does jump. Young Horizon's gone forward recent trial. Celtic Times might just have to work a little bit to get across. Smart Fighter can get some cover if he doesn't. Super 10, Alice Wong, I think he'll just handlebars down money from the outside.
Might as well. He does like to go forward, does Super 10. Here is Beato. Beato. Wanted 1650. Everyone thought he wanted 1650. He got to 1650. He ended up running 4th in this race, so he's straight back to 1400.
Yeah, look, I just wonder if he was a little bit close because he'd been running, because he was sort of over-raced a little bit, didn't he? He has been getting back in his races and running on. So maybe the fast tempo of 1400 is what the theory was on him. I'm going to include him. I won't put him on a win line, though, because I think he's had his chance.
And that was a Beato. This is Indeed, who comes from well back to finish second. Mark 10 is on the improve. This is the race War of Courage, missed the start. Celtic Times, he's racing wide. He did place the couple of starts before this Celtic Times, so can make a case maybe for all of these, could you?
Yeah, look, Mark 10 in particular, because there's a lot of support for him and he hadn't really shown too much form leading into this race. So he's drawn 11 again, but he'll get back. But there was no pace in this race. And look, you can see him, he couldn't get out, and Indeed got first run on him. And saying that, I don't mind Indeed as well, but Mark 10's got better at the weight. So I think these two can Quinella the race, actually.
There you go, easy as that, Indeed. And Mark 10 will find out the order of the Quinella shortly because we need to look at Golden Bull, who charged home in this race. He's really powered home. He's a horse in those black colours. Jerry Chow takes a couple of pounds off. We've seen him do this before, but hasn't got that one on the board yet, has he?
No, he's a roarer as well. He's been declared a roarer this season, and that just worries me internally what you're going to get on the day. So, look, I didn't include him on that reason. He can run on well when everything goes right for him, and we can see that here. He looked like he was going to win about now, and Holy Lake came for the inside. So, he could run well, but I'm just worried about that roaring thing.
Yep, too unreliable, yeah. Golden Bull. OK, we've built the suspense. What's the Quinella order?
Going to go the one at the lighter weights here, which is Mark 10 to beat Indeed. Beato in there for third. And Smart Fighter, look, he just needs a bit of luck from his draw. But there is ability there with this horse. 12, 3, 2 and 8.
And he's just luckless with the draws at the moment, Smart Fighter, and comes up with another one this week. The first group race for 2024 is race number 7. It's at Group 3 level, the Chinese Club Challenge Cup over the 1400 metres. California Spangle, Beauty Joy both come out of the HKIR Mile. Healthy Happy won the Celebration Cup 2 starts ago over the 1400. Redline, Fantastic Treasure have good records, course and distance. Rewarding Together's never won at Sha Tin. Taj Dragon comes up into group racing following a good win last time over the 1400 metres at Sha Tin. California Spangle, Healthy Happy, he does like to go forward, Paul, and we did see them harass each other a start or two ago.
Yeah, we did. Look, one's drawn 1, which is California Spangle, one's drawn 8, so I just think California Spangle can just get a length or so on him and he won't be able to challenge him. Red Lion, in the meantime, can get a nice trail. Beauty Joy won't be too far away, although it has been going back, smaller field here. Rewarding Together, Tulip Gill, Fantastic Treasure. I think Taj Dragon will go to the back from his wide draw.
Frankie Law has 2 runners in the race, and here he is with Nick.
Frankie, the big race coming up on the 1st of January is the Chinese Club Challenge Cup. You've got a couple of runners in the race. Let's start with Healthy Happy, because this really has become his race. In the last 2 years, he's a winner, and he was second 12 months ago.
Yes, I think 1400 is good for him, and this time he carry lightweight. I hope he can won a good race. Yeah.
And as you sort of set out with this horse this season, Frank, I mean, he's already won a Group 3. Was it always the plan to miss the big day in December, HKIR, and come to this race?
Yes, because you know that HKIR is quite strong. That race 1600. So I just skip this race and then won him on 1400. Yeah.
You've sent him up to Chung Fa, Frank. He's had a trial up there. He came through that okay. Were you pleased with the way he trialled?
Yeah, he's always have nearly 1.5 months off, and then I think it should be good. And then he fresh up the horse there.
You mentioned the fresh angle. That's what I wanted to ask you about next, because he won first up, of course, in the Celebration Cup. He's a really good horse fresh, isn't he, this guy?
Yeah, this one. Just give him a trial and then come back to Hong Kong and to see the draw is good or not.
And obviously, it's a decent race. Tony Cruz has got a couple of really nice ones in there that are keeping everything else down in the weights. I mean, it's not an easy race by any stretch of the imagination, but your horse, I mean, he's very honest, he's very tough, and he usually runs his race, doesn't he?
Yeah. You know, Tony Cruz horse star, that is California Spangler. I think usually he will lead in front. I don't mind if we just sit second. Yeah.
And you've also got another runner in the race, Frankie, Rewarding Together, trying a new trip this time. What's the trainer thought with that? I mean, he's raced almost exclusively at 1200, but you're stepping him up now this time.
Yeah, usually though he's really good in Happy Valley, and then last few times he's looked like a little bit short. So I tried 1400 to see any different. Yeah.
And with him, Frankie, with a horse like him with a high rating, is it difficult to find the races for him? I guess you've got to run in these types of races because his rating is quite high.
Yeah, this horse before he win few times in Happy Valley, and Sha Tin just so. He hasn't got a winner in Sha Tin, but anyway, and 1200 I look like a little bit short, so I step up to 14 to see.
Frankie Law there on his two attackers for the Group 3 feature. Here is the mile last time, California Spangle in behind the leader, Beauty Joy. Can he continue what he's been doing lately, Paul? He was good 2 starts ago, but had everything run to suit, and then he's finished off powerfully in this race.
Really good run from him, wasn't it? Smaller field will help him as well, and you can see him coming down the outside. This wasn't California Spangle. He's better than this. We know that he's better than this, and he was sort of behind the leader, and he likes to lead. He needs to lead, I think. But in saying that, really good run from Beauty Joy. Did beat home Beauty Eternal that time as well, which was the other way around on last time they met.
It was indeed. So you can see that on the main show, that replay. Tullabegil 7th, Taj Dragon wins, and Fantastic Treasure runs 6th. He's got such a good turn of foot, Taj Dragon, doesn't he? Carries no weight and comes into this grade for the first time.
Yeah, with the light weight, I think he's going to be an opportunity as well. He's 115 pounds. He might carry a little bit over with Andrea Atzini aboard, so he might be 2 pounds over. We'll see what happens on the day. But look, it was a really good run from him. It was a strong field, this as well. He's got to step up once again, obviously, but he did beat Tullabegil and Fantastic Treasure, who will both be reopposed. I've got him in, but I think he's a chance.
OK, there's that replay. One more to have a look at. It is Red Lion, who was trialled. It was a very slowly run trial. He was happy to sit wide on the course. Zach Purton on him this morning. Loves the 1400 metres. Gets him with a weight of 115 pounds on his back. Yeah,
he won't know himself, will he, Red Lion? And he's drawn nicely, barrier 3. The distance is absolutely ideal for him. And this horse is trialled really well. He's going nice. He was a reserve for the mile, so he didn't actually get a start in the end. Coming back to 1400 metres looks good for him, though, with a light weight. So, yeah, he's definitely a chance as well.
That is the breakdown for the Group 3. Is it around the top 2?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I've gone 1 to beat 2. I thought California Spangle from barrier 1 will get his opportunity. Beauty Joy didn't win last season, so he hasn't won for a long period of time, but he's racing really well. Taj Dragon, the new kid on the block, and Red Lion should get a perfect run from barrier 3, just in behind the pace. 1-2-8-4.
Bowman's back, so Paul thinks that means California Spangle will be as well and win group racing on Monday afternoon. This is a good race, race number 8 upcoming, and we're going to preview it for you right now. It is a Class 3 over the 1400. Choo Chow Spirit last start winner carries an extra £6. I Am the Boss won over 1300 at Taupo, 1400 at Matamata, and also the 1400 Mufasa Stakes at Te Rapa. Sweet Encounters coming back in trip. Global Harmony's racing really well. Viva Graciousness. He's a 1200 metre Eagle Farm winner prior to arriving. Flying Mojito has the blinkers off and the tongue tie going on. Midori Burley second on debut. Savvy Chic makes a rare appearance at Sha Tin, and Ragnar been back to the trials. No tongue tie for him. He was scratched on the 17th of October with a lame right 4. Now the pace in this race, Paul, has Kaholo Angel drawing 14, but also having plenty of early speed.
He does. I think he can go forward. I Am the Boss was an on-pace runner at those venues you mentioned in New Zealand before he got here, and he's also showing a bit of speed in his trials. Savvy Chic goes forward in his races. Ragnar was caught wide last time. He might be caught wide once again. Sugar Ball, Fly Mojito and Choo Chow Spirit should get a nice run midfield.
Global Harmony is our focus to start with. Here's Nick with David Hayes.
David, Global Harmony. I'm not sure if we want to go back and relive that performance last time out, but it was a massive performance in defeat, granted, having missed the start.
Yeah, it's amazing when you're in a Class 3 and you run better sectionals than the international races and get beat. But that's what happened. But he does make a few mistakes, but he's in terrific form and should be one of the favourites on the weekend.
I went back and had a look at some of those runs previously, David. Now, he's always seemingly jumped nicely on terms. Have you had to go and sort of do anything with him at the gates after last time, or have you just put it down to just a one-off sort of thing?
What happened was, if you remember the race, that there was a horse that flipped in the gates. He always goes in late, and the horse close to him flipped, and he had to be reset. There was an extended wait, and my horse, a bit temperamental, missed the start. Hopefully that doesn't happen this week.
His win came at 1200, but that was 14. He certainly gets this trip okay, doesn't he?
Oh, I think no doubt. I wish it was 1450. He would have won.
Well, quite. And just on him as an individual, I mean, you've always sort of had a bit of a soft spot. I remember talking to you last season about this horse, and you sort of flagged him up as a horse that you were quite keen on. So, you know, I guess you're hoping that he can build on what he's done this year, which has been good. Yeah, look, every run's been outstanding this year. He pulled a muscle early in his career, and that was the only time he really disappointed us. He's always run well he's won one race and been placed many times, but gives me the impression that he's an upper class horse.
David Hayes there on Global Harmony. We move on now, Paul, to Sweet Encounter. It's just better from him last time. He ran third. It was over 1,800 metres. He drops back to 1,400. Has won off a rating of 76. Do you give him a shout in this race?
I'm going to include him, yeah. Look, he's on this rating of 75 now, as you say. He's won off a point higher. And this showed he was back to a bit of form. And halfway down the straight, I thought he was just going to go and win. But obviously he didn't. CP Brave came through and did win. He's racing in another race. But look, a really good run here from Sweet Encounter. With this run under his belt, I want to include him, but just on a minor line.
He was very, very well spec'd during the 4-year-old series as a contender for the Derby. Didn't quite get there and win the Derby that year. So that was Sweet Encounter. Next up is Kaholo Angel. This was a race almost full of greys at Happy Valley last time. This was his first look at the Valley. We know he loves racing around Sha Tin. He's proven course and distance, but it's his first look over 1,400.
Which I think will be okay for him. He couldn't get to the lead here from that wide draw. He finished off this race really strongly. So it was a really good run from him here. He did run second behind Tomodachi Kokoro. Couldn't quite pick him up, who did have the better run. But look, I'm going to include him. I think coming back to Sha Tin's a positive for him.
Good result for the grey in the replay. Now, Midori Burley, this was his debut. He's near enough to last turning for home in this race, and he flies home to run second in it. Good draw, barrier number 2, and he's won up to 1,600 metres prior to arriving. Stays at 1,400 this week.
He hadn't done too much in his trials before he got here, but this was a really good race day run. So he's obviously acclimatised well. He finished off this race really strongly. So, yeah, he's definitely goes, and he's one of the major chances, I think, in this particular contest. And Pins Prince has been pretty consistent, so he's a pretty good yardstick.
And that's Blue Marlin in a 4th spot there. He had a tough run and stayed on for 4th, just fading a touch late. But we heard from David Hayes, and you're with Global Harmony too.
Yeah, I think he can win. I agree with everything David said. He should have won, and the sectionals were very, very quick because they went really slow in that first 600 metres there. So he's on top. Midori, Burley, Kaholo Angel from the front, and Sweet Encounter. 4, 9, 6 and 3.
And that is a preview for race number 8. It's the first leg of Monday's late treble. This could be the race of the day, race number 9, even allowing for the fact there's a Group 3 race on the card. This is full of potential. It's a Class 3 over the 1200, and Mugen, unbeaten this season. Not Usual Star gets a £10 claim. Super Fortune has had 2 trials since his last start, 9th. Prince of Porty's won 2nd up in the past. Wunderbar, beaten by Mugen last time, gets a weight turnaround on him. Both Jumbo Fortune and Bonus Pal come back in trip. Robot Master is on debut. He went over the 1186 metres at Nace prior to arriving. And Kaying Rising comes up in grade following an impressive debut in Class 4. Super Fortune, Wunderbar, Kaying Rising. So 2 of the big boppers outside the leader and behind the leader. And Mugen will spot them a start, Paul.
Yeah, I think that's the way it'll work. They've both drawn well, Wunderbar and Kaying Rising. Colourful Emperor will put some pressure on from a wide draw. Ace Victory and Prince of Porty, I think they've both got gate speed, so they can slot in from sort of widest draws in behind. Ready to win. Sugar will need a bit of luck from their wide draws. And the other 6 generally go back. Not Usual Star, Bonus Power, Mugen, Jumbo Fortune. Robot Master's showing nothing as far as early speed is concerned in his trials.
David Hayes is back to talk us through Kaying Rising and what he has done since that debut win.
David, Kaying Rising is a runner for you on the first race meeting of the new calendar year. Very good on his debut.
He was, and the handicapper thought so too. He went up 10 points, but I would say he's probably improved a little bit, so I would expect him to be very competitive again.
Yeah, you mentioned the handicapper, of course, £10 they put him up, but I mean, the manner in which he won, the distance he won by, I guess it is justified, and with that, I guess you're thinking you've got a really smart horse going forward.
I think very progressive. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't get above 80, and he's 62, so there's a bit of wiggle room at the moment.
And I guess leading into that debut, David, he'd done so well in his trials, that was probably, you're expecting that and nothing less. Would that be fair?
He's a horse that's had 9 trials and he's undefeated, so he goes pretty well.
You mentioned the trials.
Now.
Exactly that, yes. He's won another one of them. Were you happy with that? Was your rider Zach happy with that as well?
He was, and Zach, as we all know, is very hard to please, so Zach was happy with him.
He's also had a sit on him in track work. Has he shown all the right signs going forward?
I think so. He certainly hasn't gone backwards. He's a competitive, lovely young horse, but he is only 3, so he's got length and he'll get better with age.
And just on that, David, 1,200 metres for the time being is where he's going to stay?
I don't think we'll be changing much in the near future.
And David Hayes on Kaying Rising. They have to stop this horse, Paul Mugen, who's just done so well since that break. There he is, giving Wunderbar maybe 10 lengths, a little under at this stage as we roll the replay. He's a really nice horse, Wunderbar, and Mugen runs past him like he's tied to the fence.
Yeah, he does. And look, he's going to run well once again. There's no question about that. It's just he's up 7 pounds, so he's to carry 135, and he's up 10 rating points. Another one that's gone up 10. So both these 2 favourites have gone up 10 rating points, or 2 likely favourites. But Wunderbar, he's only been beaten once, and that was this race. But on this, you'd think that he's got the measure of Wunderbar.
That is Mugen. He's down at the winning post too. Could there be a forgotten horse in this race? And is that horse Prince of Porty?
Look, I thought it was a terrific run from him here. You can see him, he was well last year on this race here. This was his first race for a long time, fresh up. Now he has won second up in the past, this horse. He got to the outside. I mean, this is a lot stronger race, don't get me wrong. But I really like the way he stretched out. Now he did have surgery to correct a roaring issue, but by looking at this, you'd say that it's worked. And he finished off really nicely. So I think he might be a bit of a price. I think there's 4 main chances, and he's definitely one of them, and he'll probably be paying the most of the other 4.
And he will appreciate Sha Tin.
Definitely, he's really going to enjoy it. So I'm going to go with him, actually. Principality, making the each-way play. Kaying Rising was very impressive on debut. Mugen has to carry the extra weight. And Wunderbar. I mean, the second and third selections both could easily win and become really nice horses, but they're both up 10 rating points for that win, for their wins. So that's why I wanted to go Principality each way. 5, 13, 1, 7.
You don't miss race number 9. Should be an excellent form race going forward. Start time for it, 5:15 local. The last race, number 10, also a good field coming up here, and we wrap it up with a Class 3 over the 1,400 metres. Fashion Legend goes up in trip for the first time in Hong Kong. Amazing Victory has the hood coming off. Kaying Generation was a winner over 1,600 metres at Dundalk on the Poly. Prior to arriving, has had the 4 trials. Blue Marlin, wide draw again for him. Super winner, 6-time course and distance winner. Solid Impact was heavily backed last time. Beauty Fitz racing well. Green and White huge in defeat last start. Fun Together's looking for 3 in a row. And then we go down to Satanta, who's won off a rating of 69. He runs off a rating of 62. Trialled okay between races. Did Satanta. Super winner rolls forward. Green and White, Paul, you think is going to get one off outside the speed after that huge performance last time?
Well, this is the thing. When he jumped, he looked for a gap last time in his last race, and the gap's closed, and he ended up being caught wide. I think just from barrier 10, they've got 2 choices. They're going to either have to just go back or just bite the bullet and go forward and try and get outside the leader. So that's how I've seen it. Fun Together will get a nice run. Sweet Briar likewise. The other horses will go back. Kaying Generation hasn't shown too much early gate speed. Ordered Fashion Legend in his only start. Blue Marlin is the same as Green and White. What does he do? He might have to go back from 14, I think.
Well, here he is, Blue Marlin, just cannot draw a gate. He's done well to finish 4th in this race because he's 4 wide turning for home. He knocks up a little bit at the end, but was more than entitled to. Satanta's well rated, but maybe not racing well enough.
No, not really. I mean, he finishes off his races okay, but he's running the 5th, the 6th. Ratton Kingdom, I'd be pleased when he gets back to Happy Valley. He looks good there. But you can just see him, Blue Marlin, he's finishing off nicely. And he didn't deserve to be because there was a lot of excuses for this horse.
We get a guide through Midori Burley earlier in the program also. Replay number 2 has Blue Marlin again running 4th. He had a wide draw. This is Green and White's huge performance. He just goes under narrowly to Drombeg Banner, who went on to win again after this race. And Beauty Fitz racing well. He just can't get that elusive win, but he just keeps picking up minor money.
And he's drawn well in barrier 2. So, look, yeah, he definitely goes in for me. Does Beauty Fit, as does Green and White. I think Green and White can win if he can get it one outside the leader. There was a lot of support for Drombeg Banner this afternoon or this evening, and they really thought, and he was really, really well backed. Green and White should have beaten him with any type of run, but just the circumstances was he didn't get it, and Drombeg Banner kicked back. So I think he can win this.
Dennis Ship has this horse flying super winner. He's come such a long way. There's the whites of the eyes as he turns for home. Amazing Victory. He's a better horse than he's been going, but he's high in the weights again. Strong field. Super winner gets a £5 claim. Can he continue this form, or is this field just a little bit too good for him?
This looks a lot stronger, doesn't it? But look, he kept kicking and kicking here, and he did win nicely. Every time I think this horse has got to its mark, he defies it, and he comes out and runs well. Look, I haven't included him. And the other one, coming down the outside, Amazing Victory, I'm just worried about the weight he has to carry in this field.
And not long before we get to the 6 o'clock hour, Fun Together is looking to make it 3 in a row. He leads up here. Again, this is a lot harder race for him. He comes into Class 3 for the first time. It's Jerry Chow and Benno Jung, but you can't fault the way he's going.
No, he's another one that's going well, and he's going to get a good run as well. It's just whether he can put 3 in a row. Look, I didn't mind him 2 starts ago when he did win, but I didn't think he could go back to back, and he did. So maybe he's just one of these horses that's taken a bit of time. He's won at massive prices in 2 of those 3 wins of his as well. Look, I haven't included him. He was right on the cusp. He wouldn't surprise if he ran well though, because he's going to get a really good run.
All right, so not quite sassy enough to make the top 4 though. That 4.
No, he didn't quite make it in there. So he doesn't make it. But I'm going to go with the 9 on top here, which is Green and White. I can see him running if he can get outside the leader, I think he'll win. That's basically what I'm going to see. Sweet Briar will just need a bit of luck from his draw. Beauty Fit shouldn't be too far away from barrier number 2. He gets a good run. And Blue Marlin is just what sort of run he's going to get from barrier 14. 9, 10, 8 and 5.
There you have it. That is the preview for Lucky Start New Year's Day at Sha Tin. 10 races, a 1 o'clock start time. We race on the A course for the first meeting of 2024.